Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today I have a journal page to share with you guys. It is for a swap that I've been doing monthly, and the theme for this month for March was spring or Easter, and I kind of chose to go with kind of a spring fairies type theme. And the one thing that I was really happy about with this whole journal page that I created was that I created it all out of bits and pieces or leftover pieces from digital kits that I had printed in the past. So I was really happy about that. And then also I just purchased a sewing machine, so I decided that this would be my first attempt at sewing on a project for a swap, because this swap was open to beginner junk journal people and advanced, and I kind of feel like I'm more of an advanced when it comes to my layouts, but I'm very new to the sewing. So I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to try my sewing skills, and I still have a little ways to go yet, but I am really happy with the results. And so for this one I did use kind of some purple paper, and this was leftover paper from the past, and I used Kool-Aid to dye it. It was grape Kool-Aid, which for some of you guys that don't know what Kool-Aid is, it is a kid's drink that you just mix with water and with sugar, but of course when I do the dyeing I don't mix the sugar in with it, but it did turn this really nice purple shade. I also took a Tim Holtz stencil, and you can kind of see little bits and pieces showing kind of throughout the whole page, and then even when you open it up of where I inked it just in a little bit darker shade of purple. So here, I'll hold it up kind of close. I did use, this is a main digital image that I did sew on cardstock. And this image comes from Ivy Shutters. She does have an Etsy shop, but she also just opened up a website that she's going to be selling her stuff on a website. Her name is Lori W. And she is also here on YouTube if you want to find her. I added this little bit or piece that I had left over, and this piece was left over from, I think it was my winter journal page that I used this purple on. So I had that little piece still sitting on my desk in a little jar, so I used that. I added some flat back pearls again that were left over from another project. And then up here, a while back, last year I purchased some different grab bag type kits at a crafty rummage sale, and there's all these K & Craft flowers in there, so I was able to use one on there. And then I don't know if it's just going to show up very well on the camera, but I have some really fine purple thread, and that's the thread that I actually use to sew around my edges. But again, like I said, I'm really new to sewing, and so I had pulled my thread way too far out, so I decided instead of wasting that thread, I just go ahead and add it up here in the corner. And the little tool came off of a package that I received from someone that had wrapped their tissue paper in with it. So I've just been using little bits and pieces on some of my projects. So there's my sewing up close. I mean, just to show you guys, it's not perfect. But I do like the way it turned out. I've been playing with the different stitches and stuff. And so with this, then I did create a pocket with it. And then inside here, I just have a little journal sheet. Again, this was something I printed off a long time ago and didn't use on some other project. But this digital image comes from, I believe it's Dreams, etc. And then the back side, the blue stripes comes from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. So I added that in there. I just thought it was really pretty, and it kind of matched the spring, flower type theme. And then when you open it up, you can see more of the stenciling. And then here I just used a little die cut pocket. I added another one of those K & Company flowers right there. And then I added a couple of digitals. And these ones I think come from Amy Joy, who's like Hepa Chick Creative or something like that on Etsy. So if you guys need to know specifically what her info is, I can look it up for you. But that's where I got those little digitals from, and they're really cute. They're little butterfly fairies, and of course there's flowers in the background of all these, so I thought that would be fun for spring. So I added those. Then on this page again, I was practicing my sewing skills, so I'll hold it up close again. I was just sewing some old book pages and making pockets out of them and trying different stitches. So on this one I sewed up on both sides and then across the bottom, but I did end up covering that. And then I also sewed this little piece, and that piece comes from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And then I just added a little rose trim that I had left over from some other project. And so here was a leftover piece of die cut, this pink one that I had in my stash. And then I practiced again with my sewing machine, going around another piece of paper from Dreams, Etc. with the little flower on it. And I really like how that one turned out, and added the little butterfly up at the top. Again, a leftover piece that I just had sitting around in my room. And so I did with this pocket, whoever gets this, you can of course just glue this down if you want, and then make it like a double pocket. But for now I just have it as a flip, so you can open it up and you can journal right here, and you can put, you can glue any type of ephemera or a picture there, or you can also like whitewash it with some gesso or something if you actually want to journal on that page. But it's just a book page. And then when you open it up, I just created a flip right here. And again, this image comes from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And this one, I just did a basic stitch around it sewing, which maybe that'll show up on the camera. And then I added some trim that I had sitting on my desk. And then this is just a flip, so it flips up. So again, you can journal here. And then up here, I just created a little pocket, and I stuck a couple journaling cards in there. And so that is my spring page for my monthly swap that I am participating in. So thanks guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.